everybody. Welcome to one more episode of my podcast, your podcast, The Artist Who Left. My name is Lilly.V. I'm your host. I'm a Cuban artist and I'm based in Bangkok, Thailand. If you're new in this podcast, please welcome to a place where we share knowledge, experiences, and information about musicians, artists, and singers in general. And if you just come back, thank you so much for keep coming back every week. Like I always say, this podcast is a way for me to express and share some of my experiences and knowledge over the year as an artist, as an independent artist. And it's always a joy for me to sit down here every week and share these things with you guys. And I hope it's interesting to you. If you watched the previous episode, please let me know your feedbacks. I would love to know. And also I would like to know any other topics that you would like for me to debate here with you guys. And I would love to know your point of views and the things that I've been sharing with you guys. And then today's episode is something like I always wanted to talk about it because you probably read it on the title, and the term diva, I think in the past had influenced me or have like impact me in a negative way because when you think about the word diva, you think of somebody that is like um I guess getting into the topic, we'll get through like the definitions, and we will get through like the impacts from the positive and the negative impacts. But like I think if you follow me on my social media, you probably um heard or watch like a couple months ago. I was talking about that because sometimes like I said, I use it. I took it as a offensive thing because sometimes we were coming from people that I didn't kind of appreciate their opinion. Um, and also, I probably was not in the right mindset in the moment when they refers to me as the diva. And but like doing this research and getting to know, like, I was really committed. I was like, okay, I want to know what is actually being a diva, if it's a bad thing, if it's a good thing. How can we be um better artists, better singers, better musicians without being called diva? Because I think from for many years it's been used only, like, it mostly refers to females artists and female singers. So yeah, if you are interested like me about this topic, please stay with us. Let's go straight to business. Off let's start with the evolution of the term diva, or at least the definition. So in my research, first of all, I didn't know this, so I think this is like, that's why it's so important. you know the term, like, the term diva, it have his origins on an opera. What? Yeah, and it was used to describe singers and like singers that were exceptionally talented. Also, they say that the women's, or the terms used towards women's, like their incredible talent, they say that they not only possess incredible vocal powers, but also have like a very, like, they were very admired and very respected in the environment of opera. So over the time, as we know, and it has, like, it has a transition, and from opera it comes to like popular music and entertainment. And in this context is where diva become a synonymous not only of talent, but also a strong and very distinctive personality. And in that case, we can bring up modern examples of the well called divas. And I don't want to use that. A lot of people, and a lot of, like, when you work in, like, in the entertainment business, and especially when you are on the top, or you're like, Hollywood, LA, whatever. A lot of people have a lot of opinions about artists and singers or whatever. But let's say, just to have an example, um as a modern divas, we have like Whitney Houston, we have Mariah Carey, we have Jennifer Lopez, like Whitney Houston obviously was always recognized for her, amazing vocal performance and her performances, and also she has such a amazing talent. And Whitney Houston is one of my favorite singers ever, and her presence and her, whatever people have to say about her, like, oh, she this and that. I don't really care. I've never been a person who it's like I go to the lowest for, because for being a fan. I'm a fan. I like the music. But I don't go all the way to, like, oh my god, I will do this, or anyways. So yeah, Whitney Houston is known as that, one of the most iconic divas. And like in the other examples, we have Aretha Franklin, which is the queen of soul. And she she has such a strong personality, and she really left a huge legacy about, like, legacy of her talent, and her presence as a true diva. Every time if you ever have the chance to watch some of her videos, I mean, I wish I could see her, I could saw her, live. But you see, like, the way that she portrayed herself on the stage and everything. And I was talking also about, like, in my world, and not in my world, like I was saying, the Latin world. We have like Jennifer Lopez. I'm not a huge fan of Jennifer Lopez as a singer, but I can tell you for sure, like, she's just such a great entertainer. And her state presence. I actually like to see her as a fashion role model. I think that's the way that she influences as a diva, and how she portrays herself. All the red carpets and shows and everything is like, that she being is just like no one mistake. I don't think I ever seen a photo of Jennifer Lopez where she doesn't really look good. So in this um in this direction, and knowing the opinions that everybody has about different artists, about different uh, uh persons, and I think that when you look at people as fan, and like obsessed fan, you don't it's like a relationship. When you love someone so much, like if you love your couple, you will never see the mistakes. So if people tell you, yeah, but he's ugly, and then you're like, no, he's the most handsome person ever. And then when you break up with this person, just like, oh my god, my friend was right, his nose is actually big and his eyes are actually blah blah blah. So I think it happened the same, like with artists and the people that we admire. And it happens the same with the diva. And I think that in that direction, I would like to bring, like, this part that I am more interested of in is just like, is a diva a bad thing, or is a diva a good thing? It's like, I'm a good diva or I'm a bad diva. You know what I mean? Like, this is the thing that I'm glad that I researched, because, like I said in the beginning, I took offense from people like, oh, the diva. And I'm like, where are you making fun of me, or are you disrespecting me, or what is your perception that you have? What is your perception of me? Or what is your perception of diva? And I guess, like, that's why we're here today. So let's start with the positive impacts of being a diva, because I think I like to start with the positive things first, because I already have the wrong perception about being called a diva. So number one, I think that a positive things of being a diva is the empowerment. And it's like, usually when you look after someone that you admire or you care for, I guess, and the positive side is that you will look after that person if she or he, kind of like empower you or try to uh guide you into embracing your talent and embracing yourself as you are, you know what I mean, and like it kind of like motivates you and and support, like just showing yourself as you are, and showing your talents as it is. Another positive thing is that culture influence. I think that being a diva has the ability to shape culture and social norms. So I think their style, their presence, their visibility will definitely influence others into trends or into like following up that type of let's say yeah, like that trend, or try to be a better representation in the industry. And I think that I'm not a fan of trends. I'm not a f- I'm I don't think I'm a person who follow like trends 100%, and not even in fashion, not even in on singing. I think I'm like I always say, like I'm also, and the way I grew up and the way I was raised, it's just like I like what I like and I don't like what I don't like, and nobody can push me to do something that I don't want to do or I don't like. And I think that in a positive way, you can. What I do is just like if I look like I was saying about Jennifer Lopez, for her, I like to take notes about her fashion, about her makeup. Like it was a moment in time where I was obsessed with her makeup and the way that she have her lips, and I wanted to do like that, and obviously it was not the same because following a trend at that time, it makes me look like I was like completely sick because it was like that nude lipstick. Oh my god, it was so crazy. And I remember like people like like family members like, what did you do with that lipstick? I was like, I'm just, you don't know anything about fashion. This is Jennifer Lopez lipstick, you know what I mean? Another positive thing, and in that same direction, is like being a role model for excellence. A lot of divas set a benchmark for success through all the hard work and all the exceptional talent. And I think those high standards that they set, it kind of motivate us to pursue excellence in our own fields. Meaning, like if you look after somebody who's like unapologetical themselves and they are like top notch when it comes down to the way they look, the way they sing, the way they treat others. So you take these people as reference, and I think this is very related to that cultural influence. Like they can influence a trend, they can influence a moment, but they can only influence it like positively, where you can actually decide to, okay, maybe if I use this, I will grow, I will be better, and I will be, look better. And I like to like for example, if sometimes when I'm learning songs or when I'm have a show, I like to watch like live performances of the songs that I'm learning from the original artist. So I can see, I can understand the context, I can understand everything and that is happening. And I was like, oh, okay. And I think that that influence is it works for it not only influence for the perception of the diva thing, but it also influence for your style. It also influence for the way you learn, also influence for the way that you move around and do your performances out there as a singer, as a musician, as an artist in general. Now, there's like, all the things are very, very positive things. And when you think about it, I was like, oh, so it's actually not too bad to be a diva. But now, let's go move forward to the negative impacts of being a diva. And I think that's why I was so scared. I was so like, like um, concerned about being called a diva. And number one, a lot of people. perceive divas as arrogant. And that's because this term sometimes can carry a connotation of arrogance and high maintenance, and leading potentially to misunderstanding, um like what with the audience, like I was saying in the beginning. A lot of people have a lot of things to say about, like for example, Mariah Carey. As I was saying in the beginning, she's like also one of my favorites, and like I look so much after her when in the terms of her vocals. I don't think that is like any vocalist like her. And a lot of people compare her with Ariana Grande, but I think they're completely different in general. And a lot of people say like, yes, she's very talented, but she's such a diva, and refer as such a diva as being as a negative thing. And I guess it comes down to like, you know she's like she portray herself like very high maintains, and she can look arrogant, and that's one of the reason why I just don't get 100% like fan. Like I need to be a fan, and I can, I don't. So that's the thing. A lot of people associate being a diva with being arrogant, and you know having um like high standards. That okay, I'm in this level and you here, how you dare talk to me if you're here, type of thing, which I definitely not. Another negative impacts of being a diva is increased scrutiny. That means that a lot of time, all these divas, they face a lot of public um, scrutiny with their actions and the decisions, and every time that they do something. And I think this is something that a lot of influencers and people who work in social media kind of have to deal as well with, because once your life is out there and is that exposed, everybody judge you by your actions, and judge you immediately. You without knowing any type of circumstances. You know what I mean? And like they kind of expect from you, like, oh my god, you're such a diva. Why if I always, they don't allow the mistakes from you, which is like ridiculous. They're still human beings and they still have their lives going on and everything. And another negative impact for being a diva is like that gender bias. And the level of diva, like I said in the beginning, is usually um, um, unfairly applied only or mostly to women than men, which it can reinforce a gender stereotype, and suggesting that confident assertiveness and women are, they kind of suggest that being that confident and being that standing up for yourself is like only for women's, and they kind of relate that to women's that are like hard to deal with. So you basically, they the let's say like the negative stuff of being a diva, or like people misunderstood you for being arrogant. When you show confidence, also people kind of judge the way of you living and the way you act, and your life is true like a microscope. And that gender situation where because it's mostly used for women than for men, and it can make you like, they can put you in a place of like, oh, she's just a diva because she's just so hard to work with. And I think in my career as a singer and as an artist, I work with a lot of male divas. I mean, not a lot, a few of them. So I think that overall, the concept of diva has like a huge impact when it comes down to the social perception, and the dynamics in society. And it's like finding the balance between admiration of the talent and that emotional intelligence and collaboration. I think that getting into this is not such a thing as being a diva is bad, and like it's a good realization for me, and I wanted to like leave this question in here, like, are you a good diva or are you a bad diva? And how can we fix that? If you feel like you are a bad diva, I don't think that the people who watch my podcast are bad divas. I will just put it like that. I think everybody that come here and they kind of like good people. I've been lucky enough in all my years of you know, singing and being an artist and being in social media. I can definitely say that I don't have like haters, and I probably do secretly, but they don't show up on my social media, which I don't want them. And you know, a lot of people say if you have no haters, it means you're not important. It's like it's okay. I don't want that energy in here anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's just like for me is that, you know, I I just want to do the things the right way and be better every time. And you know, I don't. And I, you know, if you follow my social media, the other day I was talking with somebody. It's like, yeah, but like, you know, in real life you are like more loose and more fun. Like your social media is so serious. I'm like, yeah, because my Instagram, my Facebook is pure work. You know, I show my work there so I can get more works, and it's just like a showcase of my talents and the things that I can do. But if you want to see a little bit more of my daily basis, and what these people mean, that and my stories, like the Instagram stories, unapologetical myself 24/7. So you can follow me there and you can see like the contrast and all that. So I think that whether being a good or bad thing, being called diva, a lot of, you know, I think everything, it comes down to the context and the perspective of the people and how people see you, and you know how you portray yourself out there. So I think in this direction, you know, the way you embraced you know, your yourself, the way you embrace your talent, and the way you show up for the people and for your fans it will have like a huge impact, either positive or negative, depending on how is that um representation, or how you show up for everybody else. So yeah, so we get into the end of the podcast, and I know that this podcast is a little short, but I really wanted to share this with you guys. And I'm sure, like, if you were a singer or artist in some point of your career, somebody called you a diva, and I think that for us personally as a singer musicians, having this research is like a personal discover, and it's like a personal reflection of who we are as a person, who we are as an artist. And the same way of I always say, you know, when you're artists and singers, you have to create a character or alter ego. Like when you're on a stage, you know, there's no, you know, like when you're on the stage, you're not like you're you, but you're like another you. But having that distinction in between both, it can actually lead you to being called a diva, either in a positive or in a negative way. So yeah, I think that it only make you reflect and only make you analyze yourself, and you know, see where you stand as an artist, and see where you stand, you know, the things that you need to work. And like, if you see in yourself any blend of negative impacts of being diva, then I think it will be time for us to work on that and become the good diva. So yeah, I think that's it for today. And one more time, thank you so much for coming back every Wednesday, where this podcast come, you know, in YouTube and Spotify and iTunes, and all the podcast applications that, you know, anywhere that you listen to this episodes. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram. I'll leave all the information in the description. And in general, I think that yeah, I think the name of the podcast today will be, are you a good diva or a bad diva? So that's it. I would love to know your answers and the comments, and I hope to see you in the next episode on The Artist Who Left. Mwah.